right? And I'm curious, like, why do you want the freedom? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Just shout it out. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Help more people go to China, go to Italy, go to Bali. I heard send my kids to college, right? Meet more awesome people. Are you meeting some incredible people here? Yes. So one of the things that Jeff has taught me to do is he's taught me how to reach a lot more people. Product Launch Formula helped me fill my first huge women's event, and Product Launch Formula helped me have my first 7-figure event. How many of you would like to make $1 million from stage? Right? So I used to be a school teacher from Iowa. I come from a long line of school teachers. My parents didn't want me selling Girl Scout cookies because they were afraid I was going to offend the neighbors. That's how anti-salesy my family was. So the big joke in my family now is that Sage teaches women to sell themselves in a good way. So you're here because you have a big mission, right? Many of you are running pretty fast because you want to make a big difference and help a lot of people. Now, what I've come to understand is that people don't come to us and invest in themselves through our services because of how hard we work. They're coming to us because there's a values alignment, because of what we believe. As Women Rocking Business has gone to the next level and become a 7-figure company, we stand for women making a huge difference. Now, if you're a man in this room, you have a feminine side to you. And it's like awesome because it's not about being a man or a woman. It's about the fact that I believe we're living at a time with everything that's going on, the heartbreak that's going on, that the feminine in us has answers. Would you agree? So we've taken a stand for business from a place of empowerment rather than power over, collaboration rather than competition, and generosity rather than urgency. And because we've taken that stand, I believe that, and what I've come to understand is that mission-based marketing is really the way of the future. Have you been impressed with how many people up here, they don't just sell stuff, but they have a mission? Isn't that impressive? When you claim your mission, you're going to get a chance to be on major media, right? I'm getting opportunities that the school teacher from Iowa in me never in a million years thought I would have the opportunity to say and do and to stand for women. Because I think many of you would agree that business as usual, old ways of doing business, fuel a bigger, better, faster, and stronger mindset that in the world causes suffering. And many of you know that women are still getting paid 79 cents on the dollar compared to men. And for minority women, it's even worse, 49 cents on the dollar. And yet, women are starting businesses 50% more often than men right now. And at the same time, we are more likely to fail. Women's businesses are failing faster than men's. And I am adamant, and I am putting a stake in the ground, that every woman here has the same opportunity as any man to make a huge difference and make great money so we can change the world together. What's so cool about the internet marketing space is that we get to lead alongside men like Jeff and like Erico and like James, men who believe in us. Not every woman in other professions has this opportunity. I have women friends in corporate and in professional worlds where they're still not earning the same as their male colleagues, and their male colleagues aren't encouraging them. I want to claim that in this space, we are the pioneers of equal opportunity, not just for men, not just for women, not for just minorities, but for everybody. And that we don't take that for granted, right? So the day that I really got how important freedom is in our businesses was the day I went to Ecuador with Lynn Twist. Some of you might know Lynn. She has an incredible organization called the Pachamama Alliance. One of the things that Women Rocking Business has been dedicated to doing is to supporting women in the rainforest to start businesses by making jewelry out of rainforest seeds and selling the jewelry so that they can make enough money to do campaigns to keep oil companies out of their jungle homes. Now, when I went down to Ecuador, 500 miles beyond any roads to live with the indigenous people for a couple of weeks, they found out that I was one of the donors of over $100,000. And the women in the tribe asked me to bring a story back to you about freedom. And the story goes like this. In the Achuar culture, this indigenous culture, many of whom these people have never been out of the rainforest, there are masculine roles and there are feminine roles. The masculine role is to be a warrior and to hunt and to bring home protein and go fishing for the village. The feminine role is to create and to make babies and to make chicha, which is their main carbohydrate drink. Now, in the Achuar culture, the women have one more role. Most people don't know about this role, and that is it's the women's job to say, stop. So when the men have brought home enough fish for the village to eat, it's the women's job to say, the village is going to have enough fish, you don't need to catch any more fish. When the men have brought home enough trees for shelter, cut down trees for shelter, it's the women's job to say, you don't need to cut down any more trees, this looks like enough. When the Achuar people see pictures of the West, they only have one question. Why haven't the women stood up and said, stop? And they asked me to bring the message back, not in a way to keep us from creating, but to invite us to create responsibly, sustainably, and not just for the women, for the feminine in us that knows that we are the ones, we are the change makers. Those of us in this room, this is a bubble. We take this for granted when we're here, but we are the ones that know how to go out and live a launch life that's sustainable, and it starts with us. So my question to you is, what do you stand for? As you're building out the branding and the mission of your business, your company as it grows, what do you stand for? Now, I've surveyed thousands of my women clients to find out what is most in their way. And they tell me the same thing every time. Overwhelm, and they don't want to have a sense of too much responsibility. Raise your hand if you can relate to this. Some of them don't want to work so hard. They look at some of the business owners out there and they think it's going to take over every area of my life. Raise your hand if you've had that feeling. This solution, come on, raise your hand. Have you ever had that feeling? This solution is the solution to, I believe, many of these resistances that come up inside of us. So I'm here to share a way that I have designed that my clients now build businesses that fit into their lives, rather than having to have their life fit into an overly busy business schedule. And this is the only way this woman that you see on stage, who loves to travel, I am a free spirit, I love my freedom, it's the only way that I've been able to build a 7-figure company. Now, I want to introduce this concept of flex time. I work 12 days a month, most months. But I think you would agree with me that the best ideas come when we have space. The multi-million dollar ideas come when we have space. And we can do this, it's my firm belief because I've seen it happen over and over and over again, in 12 days a month. Most people, by the way, work 20. And it was Yogananda that said, being a free spirit takes great discipline, just like James Wedmore said during his presentation. So I work the first 3 weeks of the month. I take flexible Fridays, and I take the 4th week of the month completely off. How many of you are inspired? How many of you are thinking, there's no way I could ever do that? Some of you, maybe 20% of you. So if you're sitting there thinking there's no way I could ever do that, my question to you is, how can you begin? Chapter 7 of my book is all about the transition. It's a transition. I didn't start out having a schedule like this. But now that I do, my clients respect it, my team respects it, and the people in my life know that this is what I require to be able to show up and be the leader that I have chosen to be, and to make the difference that I've chosen to make. So what we have to do is we have to have days where we work in our business, and then we have to have days that we work on our business, right? Can you feel the difference? In the business is seeing the clients, doing the things that bring in profit, the things that we have to do, and then we have to have days that we have the big picture in mind. Mondays and Thursdays are my big picture days where I meet with potential JV partners. I do big picture planning meetings with my team. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I do the profit-producing activities, and you can see by my schedule and the schedule that you have on your handout in front of you that I also schedule in my personal activities. I schedule in self-care so that business activities aren't the only things on my schedule. So over the lunch, I invite you to spend a few minutes filling out the calendar that we provided for you on the handout. I'll tell you what, it's an incredible opportunity, it's an incredible activity to start to ask yourself, how could I work less than the typical 20 days a month, right? How many days a month do you want to be working? And how many hours per day would you like to be working? I have women that work for me that are single moms. They have to work 20 days a month, but they only want to work about 4 hours a day, and so that's what works for them. And then the question is, what would you do with the extra 8 days per month? What would you do? Would you play? Would you spend time with your family? Would you write a book? I used some of my flex time to write my book, and I'll tell you what, I was really glad it was there. But it's really all about problem solving. And universal law tells us that the time it takes to complete a task expands into the amount of time you give it. And what I know, we can say over and over in ourselves, if I just work harder, I can make more money, right? If I just work harder, I can get more done. But I'm here to tell you that it's the opposite. When we put boundaries on our time in this way, and only we can do it, that was something that Jeff said to me, and I'm going to bring him back up here. But what Jeff said to me is, only you can make this decision for yourself. Nobody's going to make it for you. Your spouse isn't going to make it for you. Your team isn't going to make it for you. Only you can do this, and it starts with us, and you being the best you that you can be is going to benefit your clients, it's going to benefit your mission, and it's going to benefit the world. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Sage Levine.